Hello dear viewers. I present to you the 2022 Toyota Land Cruiser 300. While the 300 series Land Cruiser is literally new from the ground up, much of the design has gone by unchanged. Key markers like length, width, height and wheelbase carry over from the 200 series Land Cruiser. And even if the latter chassis remains underneath with similar suspension designs, this is the first example of Toyota's new GAF body-on-frame architecture. That new platform, shared with the 2022 Toyota Tundra, teams up with aluminum panels to shave around 90 kilograms from the curb weight of the 300 series Land Cruiser. The new powertrain is lighter as well, lower slung and mounted further backward in the chassis. This means the center of gravity is improved. Just like all of the new stuff underneath fresh sheet metal, the interior of the new Land Cruiser is a redesign from scratch. But once again, there are more than a few familiarities going on here. Interior space is overall quite similar, with the near 5 meters length yielding plenty of room across the first and second rows. The mode select dial and associated buttons for your on-road and off-road driving modes are intuitive to use and fall to hand quite easily while driving. An infotainment display either 9.0 or 12.3 inches in size, sits atop the collection of air conditioning controls, with Toyota clearly opting for the practicality of physical buttons over screens and touchpads. It's a good idea as well, feeling easy to use after only a moment of acclimatization. In terms of space, the second row offers boatloads of headroom and legroom. Big adults can fit in without any issues. Higher specifications get a fold-down armrest in the second row with additional cup holders, and the amount of air conditioning controls also varies depending on the specification. But in terms of space and comfort in the second row, it's the same story as the 200 series Land Cruiser, very good. The tilting backrest is a bit of a godsend for the third row, which feels a bit lacking in terms of legroom and headroom. It's not as good as other large SUVs with fewer off-road credentials, but eating into some extra cargo space while tilting backwards does help. For the 300 series Land Cruiser, the infotainment system comes in two flavors. A smaller 9.0-inch display is used for the GX and GXL grades, offering Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and digital radio. The hardware and software are similar to what you will find in many other Toyota vehicles, with buttons and dials on each side of the display to help with control. The larger system is 12.3 inches in size, with a strong landscape orientation to the display and built-in navigation. This larger display also picks up bigger sound systems, 10 speaker for VX and 14 speaker for Sahara, Sahara ZX and GR Sport, and a CD player, which seems quaint in this day and age of music streaming. Naturally, these improvements are monumental against the previous generation Land Cruiser, and put the 300 series Land Cruiser in a much higher technological echelon in comparison to the dated arch nemesis, the Y62 Nissan Patrol. Safety inclusions get a big move forward with this generation Land Cruiser, with autonomous emergency braking working for pedestrians and cyclists. This system includes intersection turn assistance, but emergency steering assistance is only available on VX and above. The Land Cruiser's combined hydraulic/electric steering system allows the use of lane tracing, and the adaptive cruise control works in stop-start traffic. For the first time ever, the Land Cruiser has taken a backward step in terms of engine capacity. After the high tide mark of the 4.5-liter 1VD FTV turbo diesel V8, the 2022 Land Cruiser 300 series now gets a new 3.3-liter V6. An interesting fact here is that the bore and stroke of each cylinder between the V8 and V6 are almost exactly the same. However, the new engine isn't a version of the old with a couple of cylinders lopped off. The new V6 engine is different in many regards, with the biggest change being the hot V turbocharger configuration, placing the turbos inside the valley between the heads. Crawl control is well executed and significantly smoother than the previous generation. There is a nice range of speeds, both for downhill assist and low-speed cruise control. It's also dead easy to operate via that big shiny dial on the dashboard. Turn assist has been refined also, and even though it sounds a little gimmicky, it does work to effectively tighten the turning circle off-road. I've got no doubt the V8 will go down as an all-time great, and it will continue serving as the engine of choice in the 70 series Land Cruiser, albeit with only one turbocharger. And even if you're a card-carrying, sign-waving member of Team V8, I reckon you won't be able to help but be impressed by the smooth, broad power and performance of this new diesel V6 and 10-speed automatic gearbox. The ride quality, while perhaps not as pillowy as the 200 series Land Cruiser, is still quite good. It might not be able to match something like a Land Rover Defender in terms of ride quality and general driving ability, but it's not far off the mark either. In terms of steering, body control and road holding, it's much more polished than the 200 series.